Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for our episode of Show Me How It's Done. I know we're a little later today and I did have an appointment that I had to do this morning, so I was a little late in getting to our video today. But what I want to do is I want to show you how to make the most of one of our 12 by 12 papers. So this daffodil paper can be found in our celebration promotion, which is actually available as a free item up until the end of February right now. So this paper does coordinate with one of the bundles in our current catalog. However, you can't purchase the paper on its own. You can only earn it for free with a $60 order. That's in Canada. If you're in the States or Australia or somewhere else, then that number will of course change. But the Daffodil Afternoon stamp set and dies do coordinate perfectly with this paper. And the only thing we're using on the card I'm showing you today is this little butterfly and die. But there's lots of other ideas out there. And if you look at my video last week, I showed you how to make a really nice tulip card, but gave you a daffodil alternative as well. So this free paper is gorgeous. Most of it is covered completely, with one pattern all the way across. But if you're like me, you look at some of these double-sided papers and you kind of wonder what to do with them. You can chop them skinny, but then you're left with this weird strip in the middle that is all white on this one side, and it's really sad, by the end of your project. So what I want to do today is show you how to take this piece of paper and we're going to make 8 full cards out of it. Okay, so you'll need your trimmer, and what we're going to cut first is down the middle at 6 inches. Okay, so that's cutting this paper straight down the middle in this white area. So you've got flowers on the left, flowers on the right. So just click that down and a nice clean cut. So what you're left with is one strip that is 6 inches by 12 and a second strip that's 6 inches by 12 at the moment. What we're going to do next is we're going to chop these sections up so that you have 4 equal parts on each of your pages. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. So we're going to line this up at the 3-inch mark and cut. So there's 1. Line that up at 3. There's 2. And the last one at 3, which makes 2 more. So there's 4. Now we need the last ones. So let's go 3, 3, woo, 3 and 3. Okay, so right now I have cut myself 8 card fronts. We will use all of those. Well, you can use all of them if you want. I'm just going to show you how to make one card, and then you can decide from there what you'd like to do. Okay, so here's the card that we're going to make. I wanted to show you the trimming first. It's very simple and very, very easy for you to mass produce. So if you'd like to follow along, I'll give you the measurements for the rest of your pieces. And if you want to make 8 of them, go ahead and cut 8 of each of those things out. Okay, so on the inside of my card, we're going to want a piece of vanilla to write on. So that piece, I have 8 of them ready to go. You're going to cut at 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. So you've got lots of them. Oh, there's 4 here. There's 8 on the side. And then we're going to need this layer, this evergreen layer here. So 4 of those as well. Those are also 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then for your bases, this is where you can have a little bit of fun. You can either cut 8 of the pale papaya, like I've started doing, or you can look at your paper and maybe bring in some of the colors that you also see on the paper. So some alternatives for you is the center of this flower. That would be Bumblebee. You could look at some of the grass stems. So one of the colors would be the Pear Pizzazz, or the Old Olive would also blend nicely. You can do Mossy Meadow, however, it would blend really harshly with the Evening Evergreen, so you might not want to do that. So here's a few alternatives. Your base measurements are going to be 7 inches across, and you're putting a score mark at 3.5, and then up the side is going to be 6.5. Okay. Hi, ladies who are watching, Jen, Sheila, and anyone else who I know is tuning in. Thanks for joining me. So here are our card bases. Maybe I'll use one of the alternatives for this part. Okay, so here's my card. Very, very simple. I'm going to grab a card base and put one of my pieces of vanilla on the inside. So this piece here, 3.25 by 6.25. I'm putting that on the inside so I have something to write on. And then I'm going to take my Evening Evergreen shadow layer, and I'm actually popping it up on dimensionals. I want it to have a little bit of depth to my card, so I'm putting dimensionals on that piece, and I'm going to just put it straight onto the card front. Okay. So before I attach my cute little piece with the daffodils, I want to put my sentiment on here, because if you'll notice, I actually kind of trimmed my sentiment off. So this set is absolutely gorgeous with all the different flower pieces and dies you get. There's not really anything in the way of frames. So what I did was I went back to our annual catalog. I've been playing with this one a lot lately. It's the Tasteful Labels dies. There's all sorts of sets in there, different shapes, different sizes. Some have stitching, some have like an embossed look, but I just chose my long sentiment from there. And I did use the stamp set, the Happy Mother's Day from the Daffodil Daydream. So I just embossed that with white and made a little label. My paper color, you can either use Flirty Flamingo, or you can go lighter if you want and do Blushing Bride or something, but I did think the Flirty Flamingo was cute. So I want it hanging kind of only like this, so that means I want to trim that extra little bit off. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals, and remember, you only need to really put the dimensionals under the part that's actually going on the card. Don't worry about the end that you're cutting off. So put that onto your card in this nice vanilla space up at the top. Okay, and then you can turn it over and use your paper on the left as a guide to just gently trim that excess off, and that goes in the recycling. Okay, now that you have this part on, you can attach it to your card front using some seal or some tape, whichever you'd like. And then the last thing I'm going to add is a few little butterflies, just because I thought they were really nice and cute. I ended up embossing them on vellum because I couldn't really decide if I wanted another color or if I wanted something just really subtle. So I went white embossing powder on top of vellum paper, and then I cut those, as I mentioned, with the daffodil set. There's the butterfly and the dies. So I cut 2 of them out like so. And when you're attaching these little guys, the easiest thing to use is our glue dots. They're very subtle. You can barely see them behind my butterflies unless you're looking right up close. Okay, so grab your glue dot roll, put a butterfly straight on top of a dot, and pull up. You'll see the dots kind of on his back. And of course, you can put these butterflies anywhere you want on the card. Maybe you want them floating in the flowers or something. But I thought it was cute just to have them around the sentiment as well. So I put mine up here. And that's it. It's such an easy card, but you can mass produce a bunch of them just by cutting up one sheet of your designer series paper. And I have all my pieces right here ready for me to do the rest of my set. So I'll be able to have ones in all different colors. I'll try and take a photo for you of the 4 different choices. But this was my original, just because I thought it was so soft and kind of unassuming. It was a really nice color combination for me to use. And I like that pale papaya. It only shows up in the smallest little sections of flower, not even on this one. It's in this guy here. So there's a couple flowers that have that image, but I got the idea because of the back paper here. So there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed that card. It's very quick and simple, but it is a really fun way for you to use some of those big designer series papers and for you to feel like you're actually using the whole sheet. So this won't fit in one of our regular envelopes. You'll need to grab, we have new Slimline envelopes. There we go. See, they're so pretty. They come in 3 colors. There's the white, which I think would go quite nicely, especially if you stamped a daffodil, or even the gray would suit this card. You probably wouldn't use the soft succulent as much with this color combination, but maybe with the yellow one, that wouldn't be too bad. So yes, you would just grab one of your Slimline envelopes and you can easily, look, they're so pretty. They have like a white pattern on the inside. You can easily stick that in there and mail this away to someone. So there you go. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you got some ideas of what to do with your free paper. And if you don't have this paper yet, it's a great set for you to grab. If you need a catalog or anything here in Canada, let me know. Happy to answer any questions as well for you guys. I will talk to you later. Bye.